Hello everyone, welcome to another lab. In this lab, we are going to install the triple channel memory. Here is the scenario. You work at a computer repair store. You are building a new computer for a customer. The customer has an Intel i7-960 processor. The computer has an Intel i7-960 processor, and you need to install memory in the computer. In this lab, your task is to complete the following. All right, we already know what the scenario look like and what the customer actually need for their computer, and that we aware of. We are going to use the Intel, which is i7. That's one of really powerful processor, and we need to do the triple, which is already say up here, the triple channel memory. So we have to follow, which is actually given to us, but let's start with the first one. It says install the total of 3 memory module. So how we decide to just pull up the 3 memory modules? First, I think for this specific lab, we have to a little bit go through the instruction first before we actually do the first step, or we can go down here to reading. Say as you complete the lab, consult the motherboard documentation and find answer the following question. Maybe it's really important thing to do this one first before we actually do the first step, or maybe as we go through read the instruction, you can feel like, okay, so what I can able to get from the motherboard. So let's start with the motherboard documentation first before we actually drag and drop the module information that we need for this actually this lab. So the first question down here says what the maximum amount of memory supported by the motherboard. So that is maybe the first question that we need to answer. In order to the answer for that question, so this is very much the information that we already got. It just repeated down here. So I want to start with here. You maybe install 1 gigabyte and 2 gigabyte unbuffered ECC and non-ECC, which is error correcting memory, something like that, and non-ECC are 2 DMC. Note, due to the memory address limitation on 32-bit Windows operating system, when you install 4 gigabyte or more memory, the actual unusable memory for operating system can be 3 to 3.5 gigabyte or less. That is the quite great information that we get down here, because this is really tell us the minimum and the maximum that we can able to the memory can able to support. So the other good information is down here. This motherboard support memory modules up to 1600 or 1600 megahertz. However, 1600 megahertz is only support when installing the maximum of 3 modules in triple channel. Interesting. That's really good information. When using 3D 1600 module, it is recommended to install those modules in MD, A1, B1, and C1 slot. I think we really got the great information down here. By using this information, I think we are safely moved to the next step, which is grab the install of the total of 3 memory module, because we know what that 3 module is look like. In order to get that, we have to go to the memory and we have to go through which one we have. So we can start with DR3. I think very much everything in here is DR3, DDR3, but the first one is 1 gigabyte, which it say, oh, maybe we can able to do that because it's 1 gigabyte. However, as we read the modules, the instruction, we have 1600 megahertz. It's nothing 13. So I think with 13, we cannot able to do anything. So we have to move to the next one, which is 16. That's good information, but it still is 1 gigabyte. So if we go with 1 gigabyte, but that one is maybe more for unbuffered ECC, which is non-ECC D2. However, that is maybe not really quite great information, or I mean like not really good for the performance, because we already see that we have really high processor down there. So I really consider to the motherboard slot. So here is the motherboard, and here's the motherboard that we have. So we have to select that first, and I want to maximize to make sure we can able to see what's going on in there. So as you see here, there is 4 module slots. So like which it has different color. That's really good indication that we know like, okay, which one is which and which one is it. So also you see like the notch is there different type. I mean, very much this is the same, but it's maybe not the same to what we have seen before. So based on this information, we can able to read more in depth the documentation that's already given to us. The first thing that we need to do is actually see what the number given to that is space, which is number 4. So we have to go to number 4, and then number 4 say that is DDR3 DIMM slot, which is left to right, and the when inside we start from left to right, which means from here to here, from this side to the other side. The first one, which is the black one, is A2. The second blue one is A1. The third black one is B2, and the fourth blue one is B1, and the other fifth black one is C2, and the last, which is 6-1, is C1. So that is really important information that we just got from here. So the rest is just the other part of the motherboard, I think, which we don't really need for this specification. So we have to go down here and read a little bit about the memory, which is the system memory. And based on that, so the system memory said the motherboard come with 6 double data rate 3, as we just already checked up there, which is in dual line memory module socket. That is very much what is used for desktop. And DD3 module has the same physical dimension as D2. However, the notch is different to prevent installation, which is something that we you have to understand. And DR2 model develop a better performance, less power consumption. That's really good information. So the recommendation memory configuration. As the title say, what we are going to do is install the triple channel. That's what we are looking for. So the first one is 2, that is dual module. The third one is triple. So that's the triple channel. In order to do the triple channel, what we have to do is we are not allowed to install any memory on A2. Instead, we have to do on A1, not on B2, but in B1, not on C2, but in C1. That is the really great information. To maybe move on to see the another information, which is 2 gigabytes, but it's still the number is not much. I think we have to make sure that we clearly understand this one should be used as 1600 modules. It's not like 13 or something. Because of that, the second one we have right here is 2 gigabytes and then 16, which I feel that may be something we can give the shot first before we try something. So let's start with that. So as we already see, the first one is A2 and the second one is A1. So we have to grab the first one and drop that into A1, okay? So the second one is B2, which we cannot able to do on it. So we have to move on B1. Again, the last one is, this one is C2. What is we not going to do that? And then we are going to put that in C1. So the second step say configure the memory to run in the triple channel mode, which I think what we just did is exactly that. For triple channel operation, memory should be installed in match set the same capacity and the same speed. That's what we just did. Selected largest and fastest memory support by the motherboard. So even though they start with 1 gigabyte, I think that's the reason why we go with 2 gigabyte, because that's the maximum it's kind of what you do. And install the memory according to the motherboard recommendation. That's what exactly we did. And instead of start work on A2, we start with A1. Everything is 1-1. It's nothing after anything like that. It say after you install the memory, put into the BIOS set and press F1 and verify that the memory is running in triple channel mode. Well, we cannot do that. Let's try that. So to do that, we have to turn the computer to the other side. So we have to turn to back, not actual back. We have to change to front. And then press just the power button as the computer start loading. So keep pressing. So make sure you press in the middle, and then if just right after that, press the F2 and directly take you to the BIOS. So we start with the general information. I think if you start with that one, and then you can go down here as you see the memory channel mode. Down here is the triple channel. That is what actually tell us that we have that type of the channel. So the other way you can able to see like A size is that, and then the B size is that's empty, but the C size is that. So that's another kind of extra information, but I think the main thing is that you have to understand what memory channel mode that you have. So I think with that, that will be conclude this lab, but let's score the lab and see what it's look like. All right, so as you see, we are correctly done with this lab. Install the 3 DR2 gigabyte of that 600 modules, and install memory in slide 1B21. So they verified the triple, we did everything correctly. Because of that, we are successfully complete this lab. Please make sure you are subscribed to our channel, and then see you in next lab. Thank you for watching.